Good morning, race fans. Welcome to Today at the Races from Pimlico Racecourse. I'm Naomi Tucker, joined by Keith Fustel. And this is the start of the Preakness meet, moved up 2 weeks earlier than usual, but what a pleasure to be here. How are you doing, Keith?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. A little chilly out here this first day of the Pimlico meet. Actually, some snowflakes were making their way onto the set just a few minutes ago. But yeah, looking forward to the meet, a little extended meet here at Pimlico.
Indeed, 23 days of racing. And we're going to kick things off with a bang. We got 10 races on the card today. Of course, a Stronach 5 tomorrow. And on Saturday, we do have a fair few stakes races coming up. The Spring Stakes Spectacular Day. Federico Tessio Stakes, of course, a prep. A winner you're in for the Preakness, as well as the Weber City Miss, which is a winner you're in for the Black Eyed Susan. Now, the cards did come out already. Did you have a quick look, Keith?
I did. I had to do the morning line, get it in there this morning. Clayton, he wants that morning line early, and it's in. Some highly competitive fields. Good job, Trish Bowman, and the rest of the team in the racing office. We've got some quality races in store for us on Saturday. Yep.
Agreed, and the locals are well represented in
Yeah.
both races, so that's always wonderful to see, and we'll be rooting for them. As I mentioned, Stronach 5-time once again tomorrow. We are part of it. First two races from Pimlico Racecourse, Race 8 and Race 9, Leg A and Leg B, and then Gulfstream Park, Leg C, Sant Anita Park, Race 3, Leg D, and Leg E is race 3 from Golden Gate Field. So a well spread out sequence once again. Test your handicapping skills. Get involved. Industry low 12% takeout as well. And we have a nice offer for you to place your bet using First Bet. The money back special coming up here. Spring Stakes Spectacular. Get your cash back up to $10 when you win bet. Finish the second or third at Pimlico here on the 24th of April, which is absolutely wonderful. I mean, that's just kind of a foolproof way of saying I'm going to place my bet to win, but I'm actually getting a show bet.
Absolutely, and I like it when you're always going to look with that. I'm going to look for a little bit of a price too to get that shot. So I like that little offer there. Absolutely, make use of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at the track conditions. And of course, Keith, the track is looking wonderful. It's not too warm outside at all, but I do like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, 43, a little cloudy, overcast here in Baltimore, but I tell you, the track looks in great shape. Talked to a couple trainers, said it's in really, really good shape. Turf course, green as can be, thickened up, looking great for the weekend. Will it be interesting to see what the track plays like? I went back to my quote-unquote bias notes from the last meet. There was only a couple days back there in September, 25th and 26th of September, some inside speed. But other than that, the track played pretty fair here at Old Hilltop.
That was actually my next question going to be, how do we transition from handicapping at Laurel Park to now looking at Pimlico? But it has been an even track, and we know that plenty of the horses have had a workout over it as well.
Absolutely. The horse has been coming in from Laurel to ship up here to work out. But this track, a little longer stretch, I think you got a little bit more ability to close even on the surface or both surfaces at Pimlico. So we'll take note. The old adage, the old Pimlico was inside in speed. Sometimes it rears its head. We're just going to have to see how it plays, how it unfolds through some of these races.
Yeah, we'll keep everyone updated. And as you mentioned, the turf looking beautiful. We'll see the return of grass action here on Saturday. Very much looking forward to it. But let's kickstart this 10 race card with the first race on the day. Of course, also the start of the early pick 5 sequence. 12% takeout here. 50-cent minimum bet starts in race 1. Of course, the late pick 5 will be starting later on as well in race 6. And I created a ticket for the Rainbow Pick 6 today, but also Tim did too. So we'll discuss his in a little bit. I know that you had an early pick 4, which we'll get to in a second as we'll get going here with the opening race of the Preakness meet. A mile 16, the distance for 3-year-olds and upwards. Norman is a 2 lifetime claiming 5,000 level. And we'll just start with your top selection in here, Keith, which is also my top selection. Martini Lane for trainer Hugh McMahon. Charlie Marquez is on board. Well backed against a tougher group in her last race, and she nearly took them all the way that day.
Yeah, she was walking the dog, as they like to say, getting away with slow internal fractions and just couldn't last late. I'm begrudgingly selecting this horse, but getting back to the level at which it once was, back in November. Martini Lane, maybe he just wants a target. Maybe he'll get that target today. A price I'm going to throw in is the 7 Classy Solution, a horse that's been really busy in 2020 into the 2021. He finally gets a little bit of a break, gets some assistance with the scratch of the 8. I think he's the speed of the speed. I think this horse is going to hang on a little bit today, but Martini Lane is going to get that target today. You got to also, I think the 1 and the 3 are users in here. The 3's an improving type. The 1 gets the blinkers on. That's Imagine Winning.
See, I thought Martini Lane was possibly going to get the jump on Classy Solution with that inside draw going into that bend.
I mean, 49 and 3 last time, 46 and 2 in that sprint 2 race back. Revenger's pretty quick, but I want to know if they just want to change the tactics last time. This horse had no excuse whatsoever, just gave way. Maybe wasn't comfortable up front. We'll see. We'll see. That the opening quarter is going to determine it, no doubt, especially for the 7 Classy Solution. I think if he's got any chance, he's going to have to go out and clear.
Yeah, 2, 3, 1, 7 for me and 2, 7, 1, 3 for you, Keith, as we'll move on to the second race, which is the start of the early pick 4, which you created a ticket for today. Let's score on this first day, Keith.
Let's do it. It's costly. And let me tell you something. Racing office, I mean, what a job. Big fields. They're abundant here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Highly competitive. Look for some value. Don't be scared to take a shot. I'm going to go with a $32 ticket. Yeah, I don't like usually going that high, but this is your base here. 4-6 to get you started. Above the limit, it's going to be an awfully short price. We go 4 deep in the races 3 and the 4, and races 3 and 4. Race 5, 4 and the 9. We're going to try to narrow it down in that race. A little bit of a price user there, Ranchar, and the 9 is First Time Claudio. So there's your ticket, $32. You can check that out online as well as with everybody else's tickets. But I think we're going to see some prices here this afternoon.
I think so as well. I'm very much looking forward to it. So race 2, maiden special weight, 4 fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5 years old. 5 furlong the distance here. We'll kick things off with our first video spotlight on the horse that we both use on top above the limit in her effort in her last try over that sloppy 5.5 furlong distance at Laurel Park. She got away, touched a little bit to the outside, but she still managed to get to the front eventually.
Exactly, and showed a really good turn of foot here. Once the horse straightened, she accelerated out to the lead, was able to clear off, open up 6. Now remember, Naomi, this race, race 2 here today, was scheduled for the turf. It was in the book. It was a turf race. We're going to stay off the turf the first couple days. So, but dirt not an issue here for above the limit. Still holds pretty well after being used to the lead. Georgina got the best of her that afternoon. With the experience under her belt, I'm interested to see a couple of these firsters in here because they're working quite well over this racetrack. What are they going to bring to the table? But experience, might be the edge here for above the limit. But don't leave out the 6. Don't leave out the 1. I mean, unproven. The horses that have run, other than a lot above the limit, haven't shown a ton. So one of these firsters might be ready to jump up and get it done.
It would have to probably run up to a 60, mid-60 buyers to get it. But above the limit, I'm hoping that she improves from that effort because you could see in that video spotlight that she was getting wary, switching her leads and kind of moving around a little bit. I'd love for her to kind of have some more left in the tank and be able to run a bit more straight there. But I like her, and I use Moonrock myself underneath her. For a first, I prefer the outside draw in comparison to the inside, although you hope they're not going to break outwards.
You don't want to break outward. You got to recover shorter run into this first turn, right, that they're going to hit. But looking at the breeding by Malibu Moon out of a mare she's ready made, was 1 for 4, topped at a 73, but did win at Aqueduct, showing speed in a maiden special weight race. And all 3 starters, they've hit the board first time out, including a firster. Vera, the first couple days here, has some firsters, have been working over this racetrack really, really fast. Let's see how good they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Eye of the Needle, both of us use her underneath too. Dam could run. She was actually a miler on turf, grade 1 placed even.
But she also ran on the dirt too. She was okay both surface, but a little better, no doubt on the turf. And you're looking at some of the siblings. Half the Yes I See, 15 for 54, made 326,000, was versatile. So yeah, Eye of the Needle, drawing inside, can't give up a lot out of the break. Has got to get position into that turn. I mean, if you stumble a little bit or have to steady, you're giving up an awful lot in these 5/8 races.
Yeah, you're done anyway. If you stumble in a 5/8 race, it takes a bit of class to overcome that and still be able to topple this field. Race 3, starter allowance here, going that 2-turn mile and 16. To me, it seems like there's a fair bit of pace in here, and I ended up using the 4 as a bit of hoping a price play on top, and then I saw you have Miami Mumbles as your selection as well. best recent efforts have come on the Mid-Atlantic circuit.
Yeah, they have. Claim for 40, and this horse was in a little bit of fall. It looks like they might have wanted to get this horse claimed. Was running well in allowance races, goes up to New York. They bet 40,000. Okay. Last time out, though, they jumped up a little bit. Running against a pretty good field. Those internals that day were very, very good compared to the rest of the card. Was caught wide into those internals. I don't see an abundance of speed. I want that old Pimlico to show up. I think Miami Mumbles needs an aggressive ride to get to the front.
Right.
I'm a little bit, just a little bit later that drop. Why they dropped that horse? Well, holding pretty good form. But who else is in the race? Ratify, did run well first time for Brittany. That was an okay field, maiden field. But Miami Mumbles may be able to get brave up front.
Yeah, I liked Ratify a little bit underneath as well. Just second start for the Brittany Russell stable. Wasn't able to break his maiden for a long time. Gets to the Brittany Russell barn and boom, straight away gets off the duck there. So I'm hoping to see some more improvement. But interestingly, you were talking about maybe Miami Mumbles going to the front, because I actually thought that perhaps on his inside there's a couple Antique Ice Rain that might want to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, I think if the 4 wants to go, I think he can outrun him. I see some of the turns of foot, and I see those internals last time. When you break it down and really look at that race in New York, there were some fast horses in there. Even the 2-back try, Dust Devil, you look at that horse, he's come back around 83 and 90. I probably got this line. You're not going to get 6-1 now with the scratch of Jack Cave back. Probably had him lined a little high, early on, but I still think we might be able to get 7-2 on him. We'll hope.
Let's quickly mention Mine Not Mine as well. Both of us use this stakes-placed runner now with Jamie Nessa underneath. This was a horse that I remember him quite fondly, because he'll be 10, 11, 12 lengths off the lead, and you think he's not going to come. And Sheldon Russell, the impeccable patience and sort of coolness to be able to produce him at the right time. I would like to see him back to some of that form, but possibly he's moving back up again. Well beaten by Dinosaur Ben, but who came back and won again as well.
Yeah, he did. And he just found himself, like you say, too far back, a little patient. And once the real running started, he had just too much to make up. But he's a horse that can sustain a run, and he fits with these, no doubt about it. He looks like, maybe your best sustainable closer from the back. I think a horse like Antique is going to be tactical, as is Ice Rain. Ice Rain's a horse really tough to gauge. The 2-back try was good, reunited with Boyce. She fits with this horse. So don't leave him out of your exotics, I think, at a good price.
Yeah, definitely a fair few contenders in the first 4 races already. Really terrific job by the racing office here. Just so much to look forward to on this first day of the Preakness meet. Race 4, maiden 16, 6 furlong the distance. The number 5, Flash Lighting, is your top selection here. Kieran McGee steps it up ever so slightly. We do have a video of his debut race where he was kind of under pressure to go with them. And I saw Joyce asking him to make a move on the home turn. I thought that was a strong move there. 3 wide under drive, but then he just tires a little bit. Also looked like he wasn't capable of switching leads.
Yeah, and this is a horse, maybe the turf is going to fit him as well over here at Pimlico. We'll see by Animal Kingdom. I like them when they hit the grass. But this wasn't a terrible debut. Took okay money, a little step up in here, but being hindered wide under that drive, maybe just needs a little bit more patience. The experience is going to help. We'll have some speed to target. Zip the Lip is going to be quick, I believe, from the inside for Jerry Robb. Costa Mazlinda is a horse that gets blinkers on. Showed a little flash of foot after a slow break. It'll be interesting to see what this horse does from the rail. But Flashlight is going to have to sustain a little bit more. But I think, for a price, I think this horse warrants a little shot here, because there's not a whole lot separating 4 or 5 of these runners.
I agree. I ended up going with Zip the Lip. I like the draw in second there. Jerry Robb slightly dropping there. Xavier Perez rides once again. Broke like a rocket last time out to take the lead from an outside gate. And as I said, this is a better draw. It's been drawn outside in his last 2. Tired, a little bit belated. I hope that now that half a furlong less is going to suit him.
Yeah, that race came back big on some other handicapping tools. This March 19th race, one slick start was a firster. Carolina Chrome, we're going to see. They're 9 clear, 10 clear of this horse, but it's not like he's a really fast horse, Zip the Lip. It's one of these deals where he's just going to inherit a forward trip against this group. Third off the bench and a little bit of drop. That should certainly put him right into the mix when they're through that final 1/8 of a mile.
As we'll move on to the 5th race of the day, which also kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6 sequence here. And our handicapper, Tim, did create a ticket for us. $10,000 plus as a carryover to get you going here on the first day. I created a ticket and so did Tim, but I'd like to discuss Tim's ticket for today because he's our resident pick 6 maker. So race 5, he goes 3 deep. He uses the 4, the 6, and the 9. I like the 6 in there myself. I've got Infinite Reward, filly on top for Richard Cinnamon, Charlie Marquez ride. Just getting back to a fast track once again. I like the works as well coming into this. And then in race 6, he does spread using the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 7. And in race 7, he uses the 1, the 2, and the 5. Also my top 3 selection. So I wholeheartedly support his choices there. Race 8, he uses the same numbers. No fluke there. He uses the 1, the 2, and the 5 once again. I feel like this is a maiden 40 of particular interest to me. The number 1, Billingsgate, number 2, Frosted Indian, making his first start for Claudio Gonzalez, who's had such a phenomenal run in the Laurel Spring Meet. Race 9, he uses the 3 and the 8. The 3 also being my top selection. Fast break, second start for the Brittany Russell stable. After a lengthy break, was trained before by Jason Service. Showed good speed before tiring. Hopefully he'll have a bit more fitness under his belt come today. Last race of the day, he used the 3 Invest as a single, which is also what I did. So very similar tactics there. Tim and I do look at horses quite similarly in a way. Invest, Alexander Crispin Rice. Quick turnaround here, 11 days for trainer Jose Corrales. I like the drops in class again. Off slow, we do have a video spotlight on him, so we'll get to that in just a second. $43.20, I think, is a terrific value to get you going with a Rainbow Pick 6 with over $10,000 already in the pot, and we'll make sure that it grows throughout the day, and we'll keep you updated as well. So don't forget, starts in race 5. Fillies claiming 10,000 nominees, a 2 lifetime, 6 furlong the distance. We'll start with your top selection here, Keith. Ran Char. And I do think we have a video of her as well. She's back to a distance I think that she prefers, and that's also what we're looking at here. 2 starts back over 6 furlongs.
Absolutely. A reclaim for the Frocks. In this particular afternoon, we've got the January 8th race, right?
Yeah.
You're going to see this horse make a little bit of move. Had a little trouble at the 3/8 pole, but I tell you, Ranchar is going to finish okay in this race. The 2 horses this afternoon, I'm having a little trouble out here just kind of seeing with a little bit of a glare on our monitor. But all in all, a pretty good effort. Promenade Princess is a horse that's okay, you know, stepped up and run all right. But you see this right about here, just like a little bit of room there at the 3/16. Has to regroup and keep churning. There is some questionable speed, I believe, in race number 5. We'll see how it all sorts out. One of the main speeds is out looking for Candy. But a reclaim here for Fox, back to a track she's familiar with. I think this horse going to be okay. We're at Pimlico, right? It's like the Frocks at Pimlico. It's kind of like crabs and steamed crabs and beer, I guess, right? So yeah, there you go. You're not familiar, you know, but the rest of the people get what I got, Naomi. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid I can't eat the crab cakes being a vegetarian, but aside from that, I'm very happy to be back at historic Pimlico once again myself. I used the number 6, Infinite Reward on top. I do hope that there is going to be a pace to develop and for her to run into blistering work in early April. 47-4, making me think like she's possibly gearing up for something more. Charlie Marquez takes the weight off. She does have to get a clean break. She reared on her break 3 starts ago, so just want to make sure she gets herself a nice position, but it's drawn towards a little bit further towards the outside, which I don't mind. I'm just hoping that some of the outside speed isn't going to take her out. I know Emperador is fast, and so is Golden Moonshine.
Yeah, I mean, maybe your confidence was just kind of knocked out a little bit after the debut race, right, for Infinite Reward. I probably should have her in the mix, especially with the scratch of looking for Candy. She was ready to go, looked like she had a lot of potential in debut, but just ran against some heavy heads. Worked it out. This break obviously should do her good. You commented about the work. The work was good. Golden Moonshine's going to be speed from the outside. Emperador, we both have in the mix, right? First time for Claudio. Major barn change from a barn that was 0% over 73. So down to a barn like Claudio has been okay, right? Positional speed works. The 2-back number, I think that's what it's going to take, a lower 50, maybe even mid-50 to win this race, and she's certainly going to be up to the task, I think.
Agreed, and that mile last time I think was just a step too far for her, and she had some traffic problems 2-back over this distance, and a new barn. I find it very intriguing here and use her in second, and so do you.
Yep.
As we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the 6th race.
In the 2-path.
Welcome back to Pimlico Racecourse. Today at the races, we're on the sixth race here, which is the start of the late pick 5 sequence. No carryover here, but we do have that industry low 12% takeout to get you going, and a competitive competitive sequence added as well. Fillies, a maiden 16, fillies and mares actually 3, 4, and 5-year-olds going 6 furlongs here. Both you and I landed on Fred Sheila, who will be making her second career start here for a very informed trainer, Justin Nixon. Alexander Crispin gets on board, takes a nice 5 pounds off. And on her debut, she definitely tried there at the maiden 16 level, just got in a little bit of trouble on the turn, but I still think that that third place was a good start to her career.
Yeah, off quite a while now. We're going to get Lasix on, regrouped, and ready to go. Justin Nixon with maidens. How about this over the last 3 years on the dirty? 6 for 18 with maidens with an ROI of 462. Pretty strong, and I think you're going to get an okay price on a trainer that hits at that kind of rate. You've got to jump in and take your shot. Fred Sheila behind Claire's Darling with a little bit of trouble in that race. I just like the stat there. That's going to work good enough for me. I think she's going to bring enough speed to kind of stalk, because it looks like Claire's Darling is the one that's going to go. That's your 4-horse for Jerry Robb on a reclaim.
Yeah, she definitely seems like Claire's Darling is going to move forward and be the main pace influence here. Do you know, I love my Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez speed angle, but kind of go against her a little bit just because I feel like there's a better price to be had on some of the others in this field. I use the number 7, Joyce G, underneath. Mikey Gorham and Sheldon Russell, when those two pair up, I always want to kind of take an extra look because they tend to hit well. And first off the claim, Mike Gorham is hitting at about 31% at present.
Gorham's been running a lot of horses of late, and done quite well. Yeah, and he and Russell, they go back a ways, and they've been deadly at a good ROI. So yeah, I don't have them in the mix, but it was an encouraging debut. I did like her in debut. Took a shot there. I think she's going to be part of the flow in here. Square Penny. What do you do with her? Lasix goes on a big kind of a drop out of a pretty good race up there at Delaware over last summer. But I guess you worry about this drop to the 16. I think the one's a user. I think the one can just kind of sit a trip, stay patient, save ground, and rally into this field.
I feel like she also does better at this distance in comparison to some of her longer efforts, and gets Charlie Marquez aboard here. And we know that Derek Perham with the maidens, you have to take note here. I do remember that day that we got Perhamed. I think it was 2 big prize winners on the day. So gotta use him as well. Race number 7 is 6 furlong the distance here. And the number 5, Instinctive, both of us use underneath. We do have a video spotlight of her last effort at Laurel Park, the 7 furlongs there. She showed good gate speed. She had a good position, and the Victorous was too good on the day, but she kept on finding to the wire.
Just ran into a buzzsaw on Sammy Sunshine, who came back in top form now, galloped in the slop. I think in a starter race is the Fay. But look at the effort. Instinctive. Mary Epler does a great job. Is stabled here, has got this mare in good form right now. Daughter of Animal Kingdom. I think again she's got that kind of style that works here for Pimlico. Able to kind of lay close, maybe 3 or 4 off it around that turn. She'll be able to navigate a trip, saving some ground. She'll bring some finish. She was dead game there. Sammy Sunshine was just too much. I think the race has got to go through the one, keep her in spite. She's in very good form right now. Improved stamina the last 2. She's quick. She's going to just bolt on out of there and just rock and roll. I think she's going to take them a long, long way, if not all the way in here.
Yeah, I was trying to take the number 2, Silent Fluidity, on that sort of steep drop to the nickel level here, but a long layoff. I'm hoping she comes in fresh. I like the works coming into this, but I was getting a little bit buyer's remorse that I thought, oh, keep her in spite on the rail there. They're going to go, and she's very, very fast, and she stays the 6 furlong quite nicely as well. So you're definitely right on top of it with having her as your first selection. The number 5, as we just mentioned, Instinctive, I thought Sammy Sunshine, you mentioned starter level win next time out, 71 buys, so she's legit. So that's a clear feather in the cap of Instinctive. As we'll try and run through to the next race here, race 8. We have 10 races to go through, and really want to make sure that we cover everything. Frosted Indian, my top selection here. So is yours for Claudio Gonzalez. This will be his first start for a very informed leading trainer here. And he is reported to be doing well in the mornings.
Reported? See, you get that information. I don't. Nobody gives me anything. I've been here for 30. I never get any good information. We're all out on our own, so I don't know. But Frosted Indian, do we have the stat on that one?
We do indeed.
There it is. Yeah, you commented. You like this stat, right? Let's take a look at it. Claudio, the last 2 years on the dirt, 7 for 15. Only 47% at 9 for 15 in the money. Maidens first after the trainer switch, ROI 426. We saw this back in early April with Cause the Dream, I believe, coming in from the same trainer. Cause the Dream, an improved effort, was able to save ground, find room, and go clear. So Frosted Ending, yeah, the number certainly works. This barn change, a little drop to the tag here. Yeah, this horse is going to be awfully tough.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Don't really have anything to add, like the fact that he's coming in of a tough maiden special weight race up in New York and now finding hopefully a little bit less competitive field here. On the rail is Billingsgate, who I use underneath. Again, the team of Michael Gorham and Sheldon Russell. Didn't get away that well last time out. Kind of stumbled, a strong move on the outside, and plenty to make up. And he did so quite gamely. Did get beaten into 6, but only 2.5 lengths, making me think that that was perhaps a sneakily good effort.
Yeah, it was following that first or exculpatory home. That horse also came from the back of the pack, but Billingsgate just too much to give up after the break. Now, the outside wasn't terrible that day. It was called 5 wide, but only its second start asking a lot. I think, holding this horse at the level. Billingsgate works for me. Yeah, I think this horse with a clean break is going to make a good impression.
How about Carolina Chrome? Improved big time in his second start. Not a great horse for getting out of the gate. Sometimes is just a touch slow there, but still managed to secure a good tactical position and hold on for a solid second place.
Yeah, the Sosmans liked something they liked, right? Go in and claim this horse for 25. Now, on the 19th, the outside was kind of the place to go. This horse broke a little tardy, but made a good progression 4 wide, riding the wave of the racetrack. Dead game to the wire. We talked about 9 clear, zip the lip. This race, the fake came up strong. So, warrants the race here, no doubt, and gets a kind of feel when you're looking maiden 40 might be a reach. This is not a reach for Carolina Chrome today.
I feel this is actually quite a competitive heat here, that maiden 40. There's a couple that can lay their claims here as we move on to race 9, which is our feature of the day. First level allowance, sprinting distance of 6 furlongs once again. And we'll just start with the horse that we have a video in, which is the number 6, Abuelo Paps. Both of us use him because this is such a tough gelding. Colt. Turns up every single time. Always placed second, third, runs his harder. This was 3 starts back at the same level, going 5.5 furlongs, making his move right there.
Yeah, 5.5, 6. He hasn't won at the 6, so it's that last little 16th. Does he really follow through? But he had a little tough trip here early. He was caught in between horses and got up into position, shifted out, and really comes on with a good steady progression behind Ziggy Mon, who's a pretty good horse at this level. So, yeah, Abuelo Paps has held form. Look at the effort last time. You can't take anything away from that in the Not For Love stake behind where she told me to go. There's a couple scratches in here. Self-awareness, who I thought was going to be part of the speed. Return the Ring is out. Is that it?
I think that is it, yeah.
Self-awareness.
Band on Tour on the outside as well.
Okay, yeah, so speed comes out. So Abuelo Paps, I think, is a horse that's going to be positioned within a couple lengths of fast break. I think fast break for Brittany and Sheldon is going to go to the front second off the layoff. But I think this group really works for Abuelo Paps. Going to be tough. But my top selection, Naomi's going to be 7, Moose Lodge. And, we talked about First Bets as the first index now, right? You can go to the app and find it. I looked on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but I looked at our page here for Pimlico and popped it up. This was the AI kind of play of the day here. So, yeah, at a good price. At 8-1 morning line. We'll come down now off of that. But really good debut. Okay, second chance. Was laid off and just ran kind of flat in December. Coming back, the blinkers on is a good angle here off the break for Perkins. I've got him 4 for 14 the last 4 or 5 years. First blinkers on the dirt with a positive ROI. Moose Lodge, the club, come and get him through the stretch.
Yeah, I use Moose Lodge underneath, kind of going against him a little bit because I'm not the biggest fan of the sporadic campaign, and he did struggle first time at this level quite badly. Got slammed a little bit when he came out of the gate, then moved forward, dropped back again, showed a little bit of interest at the top of the stretch before tiring. I do hope that the blinkers don't mean that he can get a bit more of an even run and maintain his interest, because he showed with his speed figures in the first 2 starts that he's capable of running with them. Just wonder if this is the type of horse that gets a bit discouraged when he finds a couple of tougher horses, bumping him around a little bit
Sure.
and giving him a run for his money. So I kind of go against him using him in third, but he's very, very capable of winning this race. As we move on to the final race on the card, claiming 5,000 mile and 16 the distance. This is the race I single my pick six. So did Tim. Both of us do it on the number 3 Invest, who I think has a wonderful draw, drops in class again. We do a video of his last race where he didn't get away as quickly. And that is key for this horse, isn't it? He wants to be forwardly placed.
He wants to be in range. He doesn't necessarily need the lead, but this particular afternoon on April the 11th, he gave up a lot out of the gate. He broke a little slow, and he kind of gets used pretty hard up to contention. And when you're running against the likes of Belfour in starter competition, when Belfour's in form, you're giving up a ton. So you're seeing this horse kind of work his way up, and he just never gets on track, gets up in a position, chase, and falters. So today, we've got a shorter field. Run to the far turns, first turn, it's fine. I mean, it's not like Laurel, you're a little tired. You got a little more room here, but Invest. The two might go. I just need the jock and the horse just kind of come away good, be patient, and then just get into a flow early. I think if the horse has a relaxed early quarter, he's going to bring a finish from there. So, yeah, he's going to be a shorter price. I like him in a nightcap.
Yeah, I do as well. It's definitely got figures going further back that make him very competitive here. So looking for him to get back to his winning ways. The number 4, Glengar. This gelding, we've seen him very frequently on this circuit, and when he's in form, he is a very tough horse to get by. We do know he has a bit of a character before loading as well, but Glengar, he does go 2 turns for the first time since September 2020 when he was game going this distance at this track and came from well off the pace to finish second.
Yeah, he's an interesting horse because, like you say, you don't know how he's going to act. That's the first thing behind the gate. Is he going to bring his antics? We don't know.
Yep.
He's a horse that's shown speed on occasion. He's a horse that's come from further back. He's a real kind of a tough one, a tough nut to crack. So Glengar, I think if an okay Glengar shows up against this field, yeah, he's going to be tough to leave out of your exactas and trifectas because he's got the staying power and he's got the positional speed. So it's just that free race annex. What's it going to do to him? Because it's always a major question.
Yeah, it's always intriguing to see how he'll behave. But if he's on song, he's tough. He'll put in the effort and make it very hard to beat him in those latter stage. He'll dig down deep, ears pinned back, and go for it. Kind of the character that we see before the gate. If he puts it into the race, he can be a very good horse to watch. The number 6, Whirling Curling, both of us use in third. Look for him late here if they go a bit fast up front.
Yeah, he's the stayer of the group, no doubt about it. He's the one that's going to bring that closing punch. Last time out, just even. The old guy, a lot of backlash to this one. I've always liked Whirling Curling. Obviously, he's seen a little bit faster days. He's not nearly what he once was. But, if there's a little hiccup in these favorites, he can certainly rally in and upset the apple cart. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, that was the last race on the card for today. You know what that means, Keith?
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
Okay.
Right now.
Whoa.
Wow. I mean, we know it's there. Lightning round. Of course, we have to talk again about the fact that it's the opening of the Preakness meet. I do think we have a bit of trouble here with the graphics, but it's okay. We'll just talk you through it here. Opening of the Preakness meet to start right here, 23 days, and look at that. I mean, as of Saturday, 3 weeks to hopefully see another Preakness like we just saw there. Swiss Skydiver, Horse of the Year, Authentic. I feel lucky that I was there to witness that.
Yeah, you saw one of the best ones. There's no doubt. We've had a bunch of them. What's this, Preakness 146 coming up?
Yep, 146 coming out. 145 was last year.
So that was a good one to get your start, to break your maiden, I guess. But I mean, a little quicker turnaround, right? October here to May. So I'm looking forward to it. Always busy times. Good to see a lot of faces that we don't get to see as much either.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the bonus, the trainer bonus returns once again, $100,000 in the pot for the trainer that runs at least 5 horses in the stakes races over during Preakness weekend. The winner does get 50 grand to take home once again. And it's always proven to be a competitive affair that I enjoy following. It's just a little bit, like that geeky bit. You're tallying up the points, seeing who's got runners and what, and how close it gets when it comes to those final stakes races. Of course, we mentioned it already, but we do have 6 stakes races coming up on Saturday, headlined by that Federico Tessio. Putting your feet to the fire, though, Keith, you were kind of dodging me a little bit in the early morning. Who would be your pick in the Tessio?
In the Tessio. Well, I'm rooting for Tiz Mandate. I know that I've been chasing Tiz Mandate. Is he going to get enough speed to set things up? He just might. You know, the favorite draws outside. May the horse be with you. Shackle Love, they renew their little rivalry here. Hello Hot Rod is back. Maybe Tiz Mandate. I'm going to go inside with the 1 or the 2. I haven't made my final decision yet.
Ooh,
But
I
I
like
think
that.
one of these 2 might rally in and get it done at an okay price. Yep.
Yeah, I like Accelerator too. Second start in Hugh McMahon barn, and in the private terms, very strong third there. Did have a shoe repair beforehand. Looked a picture in the paddock, so expect more from him. Wonder about the Reds coming in from New York as well for John Kimmel. He might just be the upsetter. Haven't run against any of this group.
Yeah, he keys up against risk taking a horse like that, and then all of a sudden he jumps up. Was he kind of like Tim? Steele first, was he kind of drugged to that number last time, that 83, against that group? I don't know. And Royal Number's another one. I forgot to go back. It's 1, 2, 3 is going to be one of my top selections. And Royal Number's a horse I chased last time. I may come back to that one. He showed a lot of ability. I don't know what happened last time. He was just flat. But I believe the blinker's going on for him tomorrow. So yeah, he's flashed maybe a little bit more than a Tiz Mandate or an Accelerator to me. So Royal Number, yeah, he's also going to be part of that group of selections for me.
Agreed. A well-balanced colt winner. And some out here last time, of course, ran in the Grade 3 Witters up in New York too. I expect more from him with those blinkers being applied. Does stop us from seeing those beautiful facial markings he has. Those a lot of white on his face. We won't be able to see those, but I do hope it lights him up once again. Final point of the lightning round is the fact that our very own COO, Aidan Butler, is going to be receiving the Ed Friendly Industry Service Award as voted for by the Thoroughbred Owners of California for his services to the Californian racing industry. We all know that he's led the team at Santa Anita Park, and of course our whole family at First Racing and the Strana Group across the nation. So we're just immensely proud. He really has weathered the storm.
Absolutely. Good for one of the team, right? And, I'm sure he's going to be around here quite a bit. Laurel, Pimlico, we've got a lot of big things happening here, and it looks like we're going to be in pretty capable hands.
Yeah, he'll make sure they will all go right. But that's going to do it for us today. Keith, thank you so much. We'll be following your picks throughout the day. If anything changes, I know you'll drop me a text. I'll be back this afternoon, joined by Callie Francois, and Dave Rotman will be coming up with scratches and changes. Good luck.
Very good. Good luck.